happen this year. They're going to be talking about all kinds of things that you can participate in, especially like the symposium in the spring. And again, I highly recommend that you take advantage of that. So there's a lot of great things that are headed down the pipe for this chapter. There's a lot of fun things that you'll be participating in and a lot of events. And so I'm really excited about this academic year. Now, with that stated, I also want to mention that we did start off, unfortunately, with a tragedy, and I know that this affects many of you, as it does us, the faculty. And to that end, I just want to mention that Alex Herbst was the president of this organization from 2016 to 2018. He did a great job. And you probably ran into him, knew him, and anyway, we're very saddened by his loss, especially how unexpected everything is. And so I have been in contact with the counseling service, and for those of you who may need help, the counseling service has offered at least a couple of things to help deal with the situation. The first is that they have agreed to come over here at some time to have kind of like a group session to talk to people. And if you're interested in that, please let me know, and I'll be more than happy to try to arrange that. You know your schedules better than I do, so if you would, talk amongst the group maybe after the meeting and see if that's something that would be of value to you, let me know, and I'll be glad to make that happen. The counseling service is also wanting me to let you know that they have they take in walk-ins, and you're welcome to come in whenever they're open. And I highly encourage those of you who may be suffering or in need of that assistance to come in and make an appointment with the counseling service. They're there for a reason. It's a real thing, so you need to take advantage of the help that is provided to you. Again, it's a terrible tragedy, and I'm very saddened by it. And I just want to present those as a couple of options to those of you who may need it. Also, in that same context, I want to mention that there are a couple of things that are being done in memory of Alex Herbst, not Alex Horn, and Kristana is going to be talking a little bit more about the details about this. We're going to be setting up a scholarship in memory of Alex. And we're also going to be setting up a tree, one of the trees on campus, with a plaque and memorial to Alex. And so I don't have the details at this point. We're still working on getting the account and set up to where people can donate. But that's happening, and I would hope for those of you who interacted with Alex and knew him that you might want to consider contributing to those funds. Also, if there's something else that you need from me, please don't hesitate. I understand this is a terrible thing that many of you are saddened, as you should be, and I want to make it, do the best I can to make sure that you're taken care of. So if you think of other things that I could do to help, please let me know. Okay. One other final thing that I wanted to mention is that you can probably tell, for those who've been at Mississippi State for a while, this classroom is a little different than it was last year. I'm trying to do a lot to redo the classrooms. This was actually sparked by Alex Forbes and a couple of other people who came and talked to me about the classrooms. And I know it wasn't exactly the best classroom situation before. I just want you to know that we're working on trying to update and modernize the classrooms. I do want to say that it takes forever. This is a state building. It's owned by the taxpayers of the state. There are certain regulations about what a state building can and can't do. It's not like I can just call someone down the street to come in and do this stuff. So anyway, what I'd like to hear from you guys, if you have any other suggestions about what we could do, to let me know within reason. But anyway, I'm going to be remodeling 102 downstairs. I'll be remodeling 202 and 304. 102 and 202 will happen this summer. 304 will be the following summer. Many of you will graduate. But anyway, if you have suggestions on what you like to see in a classroom, I would really like to hear that. In particular, like these glass boards that I put in, they're the new modern thing. I was all excited about it. They look kind of future and cool. But if that's something that bothers you, if you want to go back to the chalkboard, if you'd rather have those kinds of things, I'm interested to know kind of what your perspective is. Also, like the flooring and all that, I went in the desk and all that. We went through many different iterations of what to do. So again, I like student input, especially those of you who've been here maybe 3 or 4 years and have some insight. Not that I don't value those who've only been here for a year or two, but still, those seasoned veterans, I really appreciate it. If you had any suggestions, to let me know. Lastly, again, as serving as a department head, my role as a servant, I'm to keep the department afloat and sailing. And I mentioned that to let you know that if there are any issues that you think need to be dealt with, if there's something that's you think within campus stuff that you would like to see addressed, feel free to bring that to my attention. Again, I'm really the department servant or the butler of the department here to try to help you guys. So please just take advantage of that. Other than that, I don't want to take too much time. The pieces here. I wish you all a very successful, productive semester. And yes.
All right, and on that note, if this is your first meeting, I'm going to tell you how we do pizza really quick. We go out the front and in the back and around to that table right there. We're going to start off with 2 slices for everyone because we try to gauge the pizza. If there's leftovers, of course you can have it, but start off with 2 slices. So out this door, in that door. Go.
Oh, are you in the crate? I'm not in the crate. I'm not either. I was thinking if you want to use it.
Like in the drink.
Oh, wait.
Sorry,
You're good. You're good.
I was like, who are you waving to?
Oh, yeah. Still trying to get
It's coming back a little bit. It's all right. Yeah, what? Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
I wanted to come to this meeting. Well, it's not that my house here. You know, it's not there to 89.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on consistency. How's your job? You like it? No, I just think you're pretty cool. That monster gets you hyped up, right? That monster running hyped up.
Second one.
That's the second one.
It's been a long day.
I'm like, Red Bull's
I had one this morning.
This other card, and I was like,
Are they all made?
I will go back. Yeah, I'm still coughing. And I digress.
Oh, gotcha.
So one day like but I also kind of haven't been like.
Alright, guys, since the last person's coming in the door, we're gonna go ahead and get started. So if this is your first meeting, welcome. I'm Alex Ward. I'm the president of the chapter this year. Chris Boone is vice president. He is over there in the corner. Bryce Jones is secretary, and Brenna is sitting in the corner here. She is the treasurer. We will be, actually, Caroline McDonald is the graduate advisor. She could not be here tonight, unfortunately. Then we'll be announcing the 6th member of the executive board during the meeting, the new symposium chair that I'll share with you shortly. So as Dr. Rogers started with, we were shocked Wednesday evening to find out that Alex Herbst had passed away. For those of you in my class, he was president our freshman year. If you're a senior, he was president your sophomore year. I served with Alex on the executive board as symposium chair my freshman year. He was a meteorologist down in Burlington, Texas, at the CBS affiliate down there. And he ended up taking his own life, unfortunately. It was certainly an unexpected turn of events. So I would just share with you, check in on your friends. You never know who has what going on in their life. As a friend of Alex's, I had no idea what was going on in his life. And unfortunately, he did end up taking his own life. So his funeral is tomorrow in New Jersey. If you know anybody who graduated with him, there are a lot of people up there. Maybe reach out to them and offer a few words. And on that note, one person who did graduate with Alex is Kristana Landris, who is one of the broadcast TAs. They were, of course, really good friends, and I know she wanted to talk about Alex a little bit and some of the stuff that we're going to be doing in his honor. So, Kristana, you want to go on?
Hey everyone. Like Corbin was saying, my name is Kristana. I graduated with Alex. Really, really sweet guy. The fact that I'm not crying up here says a lot over the past few days. It's been an emotional past week, but he was fantastic. He was probably one of the nicest people that I've ever met. One thing that I really wanted to do, kind of what Dr. Rogers was talking about earlier, is set up a memorial scholarship for him. So what that's going to entail is pretty much, I'm not sure if it's going to be for seniors and for graduate students or just primarily for graduate students, but there will eventually be a scholarship opportunity for if you're still here or upcoming seniors or graduate students at Mississippi State in honor of him. And so that scholarship will provide a lot of values that he had, being a member of NWA AMS and stuff like that. And we're also doing a memorial tree. So with Alex, he was half Christian, half Jewish. His mom was Jewish, his dad's Christian. And one huge thing in the Jewish community is they plant a tree of life in someone's name. And so one thing that I thought would be a great idea is for us to have a tree of life just outside of Hillman Hall in his name as well. The only problem with both of these is it does cost a lot of money. When we're talking numbers, we're talking about $25,000 to start up the scholarship and about $5,700 to start up the tree of life. It's possible, but it's expensive. So one thing I wanted to talk to you today was seeing if anybody would be able to want to contribute, but also reaching out to people that you know, whether it's in the business or friends, family members, that may have ties to somebody that you lost, whether it's by taking their own life or natural passing. But just trying to see if we can contribute to those funds. If you think about it, if we only have, with money wise, if 350 people donate $100, that's our money right there. I know we're all college students, a lot of us are broke, but I mean, even pitching in $1, $5, that goes a very long way. And once the scholarship is set up, it's set up for life. It will build interest, so it will be running every single year. The only thing is we have to make money for it. So once we get the criteria up, I know Dr. Rogers is going to send out an email to y'all. Feel free to share that email, share the link. The quicker we get the money, the quicker we can get both the tree as well as the scholarship up and running. So, and if you have any questions, you can ask me too. But do you guys have any questions right now?
But as far as like GPA, what would be the requirement?
3.0 or higher.
Okay.
It would be a 3.0 as of right now, 3.0 or higher. You don't have to be an out-of-state resident, but it is preferred that you're out-of-state because he was originally from New Jersey. Again, we're not sure if it's going to be strictly for seniors and graduate students or just for graduate students, since again, he was a graduate student here. And then there's going to be a few essay questions and a letter of recommendation. Since part of it is, so he was very intellectual, and then the other part, he served. He always was involved, especially with NWA, AMS. He was involved in his community. So we would like the scholarship to go to somebody who shows the same values and morals as Alex did. So, yes.
Is there a way to donate like now?
Not right now, mainly because it's not set up yet. We're hoping to get the memorial tree up and ready by tomorrow. I've been talking to them today, and they're going to set that up tomorrow or Wednesday, and I'm hoping that the scholarship one will be up as well by the end of the week. So, also, I'm very cold, so that's why my voice is like this. I'm not about to burst into tears, I promise. Y'all have any other questions? No. All right. And if you guys do, I'm here Tuesday through Thursday. Just hunt me down, shoot me a message, and I'll be able to answer any of your questions. So, thank you.
Go Christina.
Okay, so once Alex left Mississippi State, he did become active with the National Weather Association, served on a couple of committees, and he actually served on the awards committee when we won the local chapter awards. This was the statement that the NWA released. You probably saw it on social media somewhere. He was a tremendous asset to them as well as us. And like I said, he did serve on the awards committee where we did win the 2019 local chapter award. And little did we know, Wednesday afternoon was the awards banquet. And whenever they announce an award, there's a citation that they read about why the chapter won. And this was the citation that we received. It was, East Mississippi chapter has continued to grow the recognition and notoriety of Mississippi State University's meteorology program with a focus on students. Annually organizing the largest student-run weather conference in the Southeast, the chapter has seen tremendous growth since they last won in 2005. And you can read on and on about the things that we did, but little did we know that Alex actually wrote this citation that was read Wednesday afternoon at the election. This happened probably 6 hours before we found out. So it was definitely a shock to find that out after the fact. But I know Alex would not want this meeting to be all about him. If you know him at all, the attention is off of him. So we're going to go ahead and continue to move on, but certainly check in on your friends and make sure they're okay going forward. But like I said, we did win the local chapter award. That was us accepting the award. That happened, like I said, Wednesday afternoon at the NWA conference. That's last year's executive officer team. Minus the three who could not be there. That's Reggie Rokes, if you don't know him, Madison Campbell, and Lauren Pounds, who was president. And then somebody walked up and wanted to take a picture with the award. So he sends his congratulations to the chapter. Jim Cantori, in case you don't know him, he's on the Weather Channel.
How did it feel to meet him?
Oh, I've met Jim several times.
Oh,
He walked up. But yeah, so he sends his congratulations to that. So on that note, we're going to talk about the NWA annual meeting. All of the executive officer team went to the meeting, plus a couple of students. And what I asked people to do who were at the meeting, who are at this meeting now, is to share one thing that they thought was really interesting at the NWA meeting so that y'all get a mix of what NWA was and why you should probably go next year. So with that, I'm going to call up a couple people, but before I begin, I wanted to start with Caroline since she couldn't be here. She said, begin thinking about NWA next year in Tulsa, by far the best conference to go to as a student because not a lot of students go and you'll make a ton of connections going forward. So really quick, if you were at NWA, go ahead and come on up to the front of the room so you can share some of your experiences at NWA. And while they come up, I'll share mine. It's not necessarily about the conference, but it's something I learned at the conference. There's updates coming to the National Weather Service warning program. So like right now, they issue a tornado warning into Polygon. But if you Google threats in motion, that's going to be the new warning thing that they're testing. And it's basically a moving polygon along the way so they don't have to keep updating the warning. So if you're curious in changes to severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings, things like that, it's pretty cool. It's called threats in motion. So we're going to go down the line, just briefly introduce yourself, and then one thing you thought was cool about the meeting or something, a concept you learned.
Hey everybody, my name's Marty Calhoun. I graduated from here last May. I just wanted to continue to be active with you guys. One of the things that I found cool about the conference was, of course, the people that I got to meet. I now work for the Mississippi Emergency Management Agency, and so I'm working more with emergency management applications as far as things go, and that's a new adjustment to myself. And along the way, I got to meet some incredible folks that are already in the field. I got to meet state meteorologists from different states that I didn't know had them. I got to meet the assistant director of the Alabama Emergency Management Agency. So you really never know who you're going to run into at these meetings. And that was honestly one of the coolest things that happened to me this week.
Hi, Danielle Davis. Pardon me, Chris. This is me. This is my chief. Ashley Gann works for CBS 42 in Birmingham. And I know you all know James Spann. One of the cool things that happened, James Spann came up to me and he was like, hey, Danielle, what's going on? I watch you on TV all the time. You're doing great. And the whole conference was about, being a mentor and mentoring people and stuff. And he was like, you'd be a great mentor to the students who teach in the state. So that was like a real, I was like, dang, someone in the business thinks I'm doing great. So my main thing that I want y'all to take away is, yes, next year it's in Tulsa, but I want you guys to think of this as an investment in yourself. It's a lot of money, but it's completely worth it. I met so many people. I know when I graduate in May, I'm going to get a job. It's going to be a pretty good one. But you have to think of it as an investment in yourself. Also, in one of the presentations that I watched, I think it's really important because we have a great professional program and a great broadcast program. But I think we all like to kind of separate ourselves from each other a lot of times. And they talked about how it's so important if you were in the professional field to connect with the broadcast and vice versa. So be sure, when you're here in class, when you work in the future, to work closely together and, your job will be a lot easier.
All right, I'm Josh Ryder, junior here at Mississippi State. This was my first NWA conference and really was an experience worth all the money that they were asking you to pay for it. My biggest takeaway thing was, like they mentioned, that the whole thing was about mentorship and trying to make sure you learn a lot from trying to get people to basically help you guide along your way in your career. They had a lot of exhibits there and presentations that they were that were not just dedicated to people presenting their research, but also to making sure that you get the tips, tools, and tricks that you need to be able to kickstart your getting into internships, getting into your early career, and just helping stay on that path and how to further your interest and skills in the meteorology field, whether you go professional or broadcast.
Hey, I'm Chris Pipkin, and I went to NWA for the first time too. And it was a really good experience, actually. So the day before, I went and I was helping Barron set up their little program with the green screen. And I started talking to this guy, and he was an older guy. His name's Steve Bray. I didn't know who he was at the time. But we started talking for about an hour. And this lady comes in. Apparently, it was their market lady. She comes in and asks who everyone was, and she asked who I was, and he put his hand on my shoulder, and he was like, "This is the next future employee of Barron." And I was like, "Oh, sweet, okay." So, yeah, got to see someone got to talk to the guy that hires people at Barron. So that was a really big opportunity. But another opportunity was the speed mentoring. So I was able to sit down at a table, and a lot of different people in the field of meteorology and professional and broadcasting went around, and they asked us, or they told us what they did in the field, and they let us ask questions about their perspective and stuff. And that was really cool in itself too, to really see all the different jobs and the meteorology field. So it was a really good experience, and it was great. So you should go next year.
I'm Julie Cavanaugh. One thing I participated in was the IWT. It's basically a severe weather simulation. Me and Alex, we did it. It was quite fun. We were competing TV stations, and we each went wall to wall for 2 hours. We had cut-ins from Betsy Kling. She would be social media, giving us information. We had to take that information and scream it to the whole crowd and the audience. And then we also had to pay attention off of our computers on what the weather service was actually saying, while paying attention to the radar and everything else. So it was a really cool experience to see what actually feels like to go through severe weather. So that was really cool.
Hey everybody, I'm Cheyenne. This was also my first NWA conference, and I absolutely loved it. It was an amazing opportunity. And one of the things that really stuck out to me and actually stuck with me was the fact that a lot of presentations, people kind of talked about the path they had, went on. And a lot of people admitted that, they had this plan getting out of school, but, they had to take a few detours to get where they went, and that they wouldn't change anything for the world. And I honestly think that was super important for not only me, but a lot of other students to see, because I know being in college, it can be kind of scary, wondering, hey, where am I going to go? Are things going to be okay? Am I going to do this or this? So it was actually super reassuring hearing a lot of other people's stories and paths, and seeing, where they've been and where they are today. And yeah, I totally recommend going if you definitely get the chance.
I'm Bryce. This is also my first time going to the NWA conference. So I think my favorite part would probably been the broadcasters dinner. So all the broadcasters that were at the conference kind of had like a late night dinner at a place off away from the convention center. So it's kind of a more laid back, not as serious, I guess you could say, time. So you could really connect and get to meet broadcasters from across the country. So.
I'm Brenna. Alex introduced this earlier, obviously. Something I wanted to talk about going to the conference. This was my first time, but something that I thought was really important is like our whole image at conferences like this, whether it's NWA or we end up going to AMS or whatever, is our strength is in numbers. It looks really good when we have a lot of people from our chapter go to conferences like this, because there aren't a lot of students at NWA, especially. So, when they asked us, how many students are here when we went to the awards luncheon, we had the most, I think. And it looks really good that we're involved, and a lot of us are going and being involved with conferences like that. It also just looks really good when there are a lot of us. Like it leaves an impression. I don't know what else to say. It looks really good when there are a lot of us there. So that's something I want to let y'all know. Like if you're thinking about going, whether it's Tulsa or another conference that we're looking at going, you should definitely look into it and try to go if you can.
Everybody, I'm Chris. This is actually my second conference. I went to St. Louis last year. One of the big takeaways I had was actually getting to meet back up with the meteorologist that I got to intern with. I interned with Janice Huff over the past summer in New York City. She was one of the keynotes at NWA, as well as our symposium earlier this year. And then I also got to see one of the meteorologists that I worked with in Boston. So that was really good. It was also really great because it's no longer like me talking and interacting with people. It was people introducing and saying like, hey, this is, he worked for me. They were speaking from my experience. So it was really good.
All right, well, thank you guys. Marty wants to say one more thing.
So guys, this was my second conference. Last year when I went, I was the vice president of our chapter, and so I was the person who was introduced to a bunch of different people. Well, I'm professional side, and so I don't have that natural charisma. I don't have that natural get in front of people and speak. And so right now I am like dying of anxiety. But I will say that I don't remember if it was James Spann or Bill Murray that said this, but he said this conference is just a big family reunion. And when he said that, I kind of was like, Yeah, fine, whatever. But I forgot how many people I knew in this community just from last year's conference, just from being involved in social media and all that kind of stuff. And so guys, I promise you, people won't forget you. They won't forget your face. They won't forget your name. I saw some people that I met last year and they immediately on the spot knew who I was. Louis sat at our table during speed mentoring and immediately he goes, "You guys are awesome." He's like, your conference was incredible. And so just keep that in mind, reach out, meet people, you'll get to run into them again and they will remember you. It's important and it can really help build your career. So.
So really quick, I want to run through the pictures just because y'all might be confused as to what some of them are, because I think it relates back to a lot of what people talked about. Starting with this first one, this was the opening session when Dr. Michelini was speaking. He recognized the National Weather Service in Birmingham. Of course, everybody knows what happened. I'm not going to get into that. But so that's what a sample keynote, I guess, looks like a lot of people in the room. This was the picture we took with him that he actually asked to take with us. We didn't ask to take a picture with him, so that was pretty cool. I think Bryce mentioned the Broadcaster Center. That's Chris Boone doing karaoke at the Broadcast Center. About the Broadcast Center. This was the IWT. That was really cool because the whole point of the IWT was to put people out of their element. So they put the broadcasters in the weather service element. They put the emergency managers in the broadcast element, things like that. So I got to work with somebody from the National Weather Service in Tallahassee's office, which is really cool because they just went to Hurricane Michael, so I got to talk to her about that for a long time. And then the Alabama Assistant Director of Emergency Management. And then we were the TV station. And Jolie had somebody from the Weather Service office and another emergency manager, I think.
It was the state meteorologist from Pennsylvania.
Yeah. So, and, people who are not broadcasters. The other thing I will add, we do have plans to do an IWT here sometime at the end of the semester. We've got to work out the planning for that, so it will happen. We're just working on a date. It'll be really fun. Definitely encourage you to sign up for it. And then let's a group of people who are just up here. Danielle talked about her picture. And then it's just to drive home the fact of does anybody know who this guy I'm in the picture with is? I bet nobody does. Yes, Henry Rothenberg. He's in Nashville, but that's the point. Is that I've known Henry for 5 years now, and I see him every year at NWA now, and that's the type of connections you need to make because you never know where you'll be when you graduate, and he might end up helping you get a job. But it's connections like that you have to make where he literally walks up to me the first minute I'm in the building. He's like, "Hey, how's it going?" Things like that. That's why NWA is so great and why it's worth its weight in gold. All right, so on that note, we do have a smaller version of NWA here every year. It's called the Southeast Severe Storm Symposium, and then we have a symposium chair every year. We did open the application process. We selected the symposium chair, and then all of the committee heads for this go-round. We had a record number of applicants. I think we hit 13 or 14 when all was said and done. So obviously we could not pick everybody, but everybody who applied had an extremely, strong application. But on that note, I want to go ahead and congratulate Cheyenne Kirkland, who's going to be up here. So she will be joining the executive board too. The symposium chair does have a seat on the board, but we also selected the committee heads. So these are the people who are going to be leading a lot of the planning behind symposium. Julie Kavanaugh is going to be leading the strike team, which is basically going to be a hodgepodge worth of stuff. It's like the miscellaneous category.
It's our human fire extinguisher.
Yes, and the fire extinguisher team. Brooke Williams is going to be in charge of food, Bradley Brokamp in charge of technology, Josh Ryder in charge of registration, and Alexis Santa in charge of marketing. So if you're interested in helping any of these people, in fact, if you are in the room, go ahead and stand up just so people know who you are. Okay, so this is Jolie. She was just up here. Bradley is here on the end. Cheyenne, symposium chair. Josh is, I already forgot registration. Brooke is food, and Alexa is marketing. So if you're interested in helping them, definitely talk to them after the meeting. We're also, the officer team is going to talk with them as well. And we'll have a formal sign up to be on their committees at some point. But if you want to go ahead and get with them now just to get to know them, networking like we just talked about, talk to them after the meeting. So congratulations to everybody. And thank you to everybody who applied. Like I said, we had an extremely strong pool of people this year. And unfortunately, we could not select everyone. All right, so earlier Kristana came up and talked. Kristana's gonna come up and talk again in just a second because we do now have a trip scheduled to Jackson where we are going to visit WAPT, where Kristana works. We're gonna go to the Mississippi River Flood Basin Model. I actually didn't know what this was until a couple of days ago. This is like a several acre model of the Mississippi River. It's really cool. So you'll be able to walk around, and while we're there, we'll be with employees from the National Weather Service in Jackson. And once we finish up there, we will be going to the National Weather Service in Jackson, hopefully in time for the balloon launch. They launch balloons twice a day from Weather Service offices, including Jackson. It will be on October 26th. That is an away game. We did purposely schedule it that way. It's when we are away at Texas A&M. But you do have to register by October 15th, and the registration for that's going to open up later tonight. We will be leaving here at 10:30 in the morning. You are a member. That means you do get free transportation. You can provide your own transportation if you can only go for part of the day. Like if you can only go to WAPT or the flood basin model, you'd have to drive yourself in that case because we will not have vans going back and forth between Jackson and Starkville. So it's either you come with us, stay for the entire day, and come back with us, or you drive yourself. And we will be taking the department van down there. So that's the plan as of now. But of course, the registration will be posted tonight. If you have any questions, you can contact me or the chapter email. Really quick, Kristana is going to come up and talk about what you see at WAPT if you've never been in a television station or anything else she has to add.
Yeah, this is something that Alex reached out to me about a week ago or two ago, and I was super excited about this. I checked with the news director, I checked with the president there, and they're all super excited to know that Mississippi State wants to bring students to our station and see what it's like. I will go ahead and forewarn you, we are in the middle of the forest, but it's really fun. We just renovated, so we have a brand new newsroom, we have a brand new PR section. Our studio is actually going to be getting renovated next year, so you'll get to see what it was like beforehand. And then, of course, next year with those pictures afterwards. I'm in the process of talking to the news director as well as the chief meteorologist to potentially have a student fill in a freelance position at the station. So if you're a broadcast student and you're interested in getting a part-time job or even a freelance job before you even graduate, I highly recommend you come visit the station on October 26th. What we're going to do is we're pretty much going to roll out the big carpet for you. We're going to have a huge sign that says welcome. We'll bring you into the station. We'll show you around, or I will show you around. And then I'll bring y'all into the studio. I'll make sure that the news director and the producers have the green screen up and ready. So if anybody wants to click through and even do a mock show on the green screen, you're more than welcome to do that. But I highly recommend, again, especially broadcasters, that you come to this. If you've never been to a TV studio, this is a great opportunity to go as well. Do y'all have any questions? Yes.
Are we looking at like paying for this trip? Like what if I wanted to go but I have to pay?
The only thing you'll be responsible for is food. If you're a member, transportation will be provided. If you're not a member, you do have to provide your own transportation, but that's the only other cost.
Oh, where do you go to register?
We'll send out a link tonight. It was going to be up on our website, but I've been having issues with the link today. So I'll send out an email with everything from the meeting with a link that will be in there as well. Anything else? Are you excited?
Yes.
All right, cool. I'm ready.
Oh, Bill.
As far as like that freelance opportunity or like a part-time opportunity, is that open to like any level as far as like freshman or senior or even like freshman year?
It's still in the process. The chief still has to determine. By the way, if you don't know, our chief meteorologist is David Hartman. He's lived in Mississippi pretty much his entire life. Really nice person, but he's very like stern. Anyways, back to your question. It's most likely going to be a Prac 3 or 4 student, or a graduate student is what we're looking for. Someone that has been through an internship.
All right, well, if y'all come up with any more questions, just shoot us an email and I'll try to get that link out to you tonight. So, all right, and on that note, we want to invite Cheyenne back up, our new symposium chair, with Bryce to kick off the internship series. They interned with Nashville Severe Weather, which is actually, I did that, so did Marty, and then a lot of other people in the past. Caroline McDonald, who's graduate advisor, did that. Brendan Schaefer, who now works at the National Weather Service in Nashville, did the internship, and a lot of other people. So I'll hand it over to y'all and here you go, Jen.
All right, well, I guess as Alex said, I'm Cheyenne, this is Bryce, and we have been interning with Nashville Severe Weather for how many months now? What is about April when we began?
Yeah, about since April. Yeah. So Nashville Severe Weather is an online internship. So we write a couple, 2 or 3 blogs a week for Williamson and Davidson County in Tennessee. So this is David on the right, and this is Will on the left. These are 2 guys, 2 of the 4 guys that run it. And then of course, these are all previous Nashville interns from previous years. But how Nashville puts it is they're a professional weather blog based in Nashville, ran by 4 guys and some interns, which is basically what it is. It's really laid back. They're really laid back, and you can kind of put your own comedic feel into it. We put GIFs and stuff into our blogs and stuff. And it's really cool to see the public and how they react, because they have over 160,000 followers on Twitter.
Probably more.
Yeah, and that's what they post all the blogs on, all the links for those. So
Yeah, and also too, we're the 6th generation of interns, and this is the first year they've opened it up to people outside of Mississippi State. So there's Bryce and I, and we also have someone from Millersville University and someone from the University of Tennessee, Martin. So yeah, kind of going to our blogs. This is actually one I wrote Sunday, and well, yeah, as you can see, Nashville, going through a hot, dry spell right now. But yeah, we just kind of refer to the area forecast discussions from NWS Nashville. We pull a bunch of graphics and stuff because the public likes to visualize and see what we're talking about. And yeah, I mean, this internship has been great. As you can see right there, well, first of all, there's the GIF. And there's also just a little quote pulling from one of those forecast discussions.
this is one that I wrote, I think, yesterday. Yeah, I remember yesterday. So like you said, we pull a lot of stuff from National Weather Service in Nashville. We go and look at models, whether that be the HER or the NAM. We look at climate data and situation reports all from the National Weather Service. So like I said, they're really pretty laid back about what we do. I put a GIF of the earth hit the punching bag because it's sweating because it's so hot. But yeah,
So why should you consider an online internship? And honestly, there's been quite a few benefits. I know personally you're both out-of-state students. We don't live in Nashville. We don't live here in Mississippi. I'm from Texas. You're from
Kentucky.
Yeah. So we're able to work from home or anywhere with the internet. We've been doing our internship the whole summer from our homes, so it's been super convenient. We've also been able to enhance our writing skills. We're talking to the general public about weather, so our intern bosses have been really helping us decide, what does the public need to know, what do they want to know. It's also quite flexible, like Bryce said, they're pretty chill and relaxed about what we do. They prefer the blog out, morning, afternoon, so people can get their day started. But I mean, if you have classes or, whatever, something comes up, I mean, it's really flexible, especially if you have 4 interns this year. Connections to the National Weather Service and the broadcasters. So even though it's an online internship, they know a lot of people, and actually going to the NWA conference, we were able to meet a lot of the broadcasters in the Nashville area, and we were also able to meet people from the National Weather Service in Nashville, including the morning coordination meteorologist there. So that was super awesome. Also, we get tons of views. I mean, like you said, there's over 100,000 or 200,000 followers on Twitter easily. So we have a lot of people that read, and also, of course, like with any other internship, it is a great resume builder. Is there anything to add?
This internship's a year-long thing, so it's not just over the summer. So even while you're in school, you're still able to have an internship even while during the semester. So. So if you want to apply, any meteorology major can apply. They get a lot of applications throughout the year, but they'll start advertising for it around Christmas time. So you'll submit a resume and your personal narrative to this email. You can come talk to us or email us for more information on that. So they'll make you write a mock blog or two. So when I first applied, I had to write, I think I was the first intern applicant to write a blog. And now, you know, you enhance your writing skills with weather blogs so much that I look back at it now and I cringe really hard. But yeah, then you have a live interview through, what was it Skype or something like that?
Google Hangout.
Right, so you have a live interview with them through Google Hangout. But what I like about this is like what Cheyenne said, it's really flexible, so you won't miss any classes, any games, any holidays, anything like that. They're really, really flexible with time. So.
Yes, this is just kind of a slide, website, Twitter, and then I put 2 emails. So, well, the one's where you send your information at. The other one, that's actually one of the guys that runs the internship. He actually put it on his business cards. But yeah, and if you guys are interested, I have 4 cards with me right now. Bryce also has.
Yeah, I have more with me back at home, so you can come see me after if you want more information on it. I'll give it to you.
Yes, but regardless, if you're interested, feel free to reach out to us or, you know, whatever. Like I said, they'll be taking, you know, interns will be taking a whole new batch of students here within the next few months. So yeah.
All right, thanks. Since we're running a little late, we're gonna save questions till the end for them. So if you have any questions about National Spears, come find them at the end. Really quick, if you're not Storm Spotter certified, there will be a training in Ottawa County next month. It's gonna be October 22nd at 6 p.m. at the Emergency Management Headquarters. There will be somebody from the National Weather Service in Jackson here to do that. It's not officially like a chapter event. This would be something that you go to on your own. If you're not spotter certified, it's something to have on your resume. It's like an hour-and-a-half long training. It's just about weather in general, what a funnel cloud looks like, what a verified tornado would be, things along that line. So I definitely encourage you to do that if you have not done so already. If you were a freshman, when I was a freshman, we had this talk at a meeting. So you probably had it through that. But if you don't already, there's your chance. Another thing, Brenna wanted to talk about something real quick. Ham radio is, yes, it's kind of old technology, but it's still used in weather, and there's something for ham radio going on.
Okay, so the Ham Radio Club on campus is kind of small right now. It is currently me and 5 other boys. It's great. But because we were talking about the Skywarn class with the storm spotting, I wanted to bring up that we are having a testing session to get your technician's license for ham radio. That's October 5th. If you want to send us an email at the chapter email, or I'll put my email out too. There is a fee. You know, you can show up and take it. There are a couple different programs online that if you're interested in getting your technician's license, you can study for it ahead of time. And this isn't the only test. We're going to have multiple tests throughout the year. So if you aren't ready for this one, but you go and you take the storm spotting class, you say, okay, like I need to, you know, I want to go get my license or whatever. You can study and you can contact me, or I can give you the club email and you can email us and we can set up testing. Most of us are actually certified at this point to actually give tests. So if we have a date that pops up that doesn't work for you, you can always email me and we can try to set something up. But it looks really, really good on your resume, especially if you're a professional. Not so much if you're broadcast, but it's a good skill to have. It's not old technology, just old people use it sometimes. Shut up, Alex.
It's extremely useful.
It's very useful. It's a good skill to have. The net for Mississippi State, not only did the Ham Radio Club, but the Magnolia Radio Club that is Starkville, Otsego County, is super active. It's currently me and another woman named Elizabeth. So if you're a girl, you should think about joining. Okay, yeah, that's it.
Okay, so we talked about membership in the last meeting, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. The Maroon membership.
Buy the Maroon membership.
Yes,
That's
that is
it.
the one designed for on-campus. If you want free transportation to Jackson, that comes with the Maroon membership. It's $25. It lasts the entire year. It helps us pay for pizza at the meetings. It helps offset symposium costs. Registration's not as much. Things along that line. Since we're running late, if you have any questions, ask us after the fact. If you're not on our Engage portal, this is where we do a lot of our communications. On your My State page, there's this engage button in the top right-hand corner. These are the steps to join. You just click on that, and search East Mississippi chapter, and then we'll come up, and then there should be a join button there on that page, and then you'll be added to our email list automatically when you join. Technically, you have to request to join, but we accept everyone. You don't necessarily have to be a dues paying member in order to get in our Engage portal. All right, merchandise. It has been a crazy past 2 weeks with the t-shirt company. The person we were working with originally quit, and then their online server went down, so they lost all the artwork. So
I am suspicious.
yes, I will not name the company for now, unless we don't get our shirts. But
In which case, we will put them on blast.
these are going to be our new shirts. They're going to be on. Okay, that's good.
Thank you. That
the
makes me
other-
feel way better.
So Brenna designed the cowbell and the tornado here on the back.
I do want to say that my original design was the walking bully and a cowbell, and the legal team told me not only no, but I believe the word was absolutely not under any circumstances. So now we have cowbell.
So that's going to be the shirt. It's going to be on Comfort Color shirts. The cost is going to be $20. That's really good for Comfort Color shirts. I'm really pleased with the price that they gave us since we're ordering a lot of them.
They should give us a discount because they suck.
But hopefully we'll have those by the next meeting. I fully expect we will, but I wanted to go ahead and share the design with y'all going forward. So be prepared for that for the next meeting. I'm not making any guarantees because I thought we were going to have it by this meeting, and here we
We've been
are.
trying to do this since like July.
Yeah.
So
So with that, our next meeting will be on October 1st. I'll be doing my internship series presentation. And then after the meeting, Caroline is going to be doing a presentation for people who might want to go in the weather service. The way to get into the weather service as a student is changing. So she's going to run through all of that. She's a pathway student. If you don't know what that is, she'll explain it to you at the next meeting. She's worked at the National Weather Service in Nashville for the past 2 summers, I think. And if you're noticing a trend, she was an intern at Nash Severe Weather. Now she's a pathway student there. Brendan was an intern at Nash Severe. Now he's a meteorologist in Nashville. So if you want to work in Nashville, find Cheyenne and Bryce. And then we will hopefully will have our first symposium information. We are almost to dates. We just have a couple more forms to fill out, get that cleared with people. But that will be next week. So here are the reminders. If you're interested in the ham radio stuff, that's on October 5th. Storm Spotter Talk is on October 22nd. Jackson trip registration will open tonight. You have to register by October 15th. That is a hard cutoff. We cannot add anybody after October 15th. So if you even are not positive that you can go ahead and register. It's free. It's not going to cost you any money. But October 15th has to be a hard cutoff. If you come up to me on the 16th, I am going to tell you that. I got to tell you that up front. There's a lot of planning that's going into it, and we need it by that date. Join our Engage portal and become a member, and we'll see you back here on October 1st. And important to note, tell your friends who can't come to Tuesday night meetings. After the October 1st meeting, we'll have a Thursday night meeting. So that's for people to come if they can't usually. So thank you all for coming. There's more pizza left in the back. Did the sign-in sheet get around?
Yeah.
if you didn't sign it, sign it.
Bring it up front here and come sign it. Just in the future, for people to sit in the back, pass it over to that side. Joined recently, do not get your sticker from Black Friday.
This is nothing. Oh no.
For like the third
That was a lot.
Hey, bro. What is it?
JVW.